Hi guys, I'm working on a series of videos today. The first of which is going to be a tutorial. Today we're going to learn how to correctly apply a nail tip to a fingernail. Now, I'm going to be working with Henrietta here, but I'm going to show you the techniques as if it were a real nail. It could be a real long nail or a short nail. Preferably a shorter nail, because the tip is going to put stress on the natural nail, regardless of whether you're going to cover it with just paint or acrylic or UV gel. It's going to put stress across the apex of the nail. So the shorter the nail when you apply the tip, the better it's going to hold, and the less lifting you're going to have. Also, the less stress and danger to the apex or the high zone of your nail. So the first step to do, of course, is wash your hands, wash your client's hands. Very important. Cleanliness is the most important thing you can do when applying nails. Not only for hygiene, of course, and first aid, but because lifting is a huge issue, and one of the main issues that cause lifting could be debris, or improper application is another one. But just to be sure, wash your hands, wash your client's hands, make sure that there's any stuff underneath the nail, it's cleaned out, it's completely clean. The next thing you do is you want to take the shine off of the natural nail. I use a buffer block for this. A buffer block is also good for smoothing, but it's also good for removing the shine. So you don't have to scrub, just a couple of swipes up near the cuticle, down the side end, up one side, down the other. Okay? You can also file down toward the tip of the nail. Once you have the shine removed from the nail, you're going to want to dehydrate and cleanse the nail. I use a little alcohol swab. You can basically get 100 of these little swabs for $1 in Walmart. I love them because they're closed, they're clean, they're sanitary, and they do remove the debris really well, because these do not have lint on them. Because they're used for medical use, there's no lint on these. So you can just clean your nail and throw it away. Okay? I've also been known to use a spray bottle of alcohol and some paper towels, because they are also low lint. So I like that as well. So I've cleaned the dusting off the nail. The next thing you want to do is measure your tip. A lot of what causes lifting when you have tips applied is improper nail size. You want to make sure that the nail fits. If you ever go to a salon and they're forcing a nail down and bending it to fit your nail, it's not the right size. Okay? The nail should fit from one corner perfectly to the other, and just touch both sides without having to bend or flex the tip. Okay, so just by laying this on here, it should fit without having to push and bend and stretch. Okay, another issue is one that's too big. If it hangs over either side of your nail, it's too big. Sometimes people need an in-between size. It's okay to take your file and file the sides of the tip to make it fit, but do not stretch a one that's too small onto a nail that it's not going to fit on. So once you have your correct size, and I do, you need to take a buffer, and it can be a 120 grit. This is kind of a little, it's rough. You can definitely see the grain on this. It's pretty rough. And what I do is I just basically do 3 or 4 swipes to roughen up the inside of the well of the nail tip. The well is the lower part of the nail tip, and you can see the well in this nail. Okay, and where that line is where the tip of your nail, natural nail, should be when you put on the tip. So you roughen up the well a little bit, and then you want to go ahead and cleanse the well, and you want to apply a really good nail glue. This is what the professional salons here use. This is what I was taught to use when I went to school. I am licensed, most of you guys know. So I have found that this is the best glue that I've ever used. So I kind of stick to this one. It's IBD 5-second nail glue, ultra fast nail glue. Okay, it's the green one. There's a blue one, I believe, like a 5-second one, but I like the green one. It works best. I keep mine in my container, and I use a little push pin to keep it fresh so that it doesn't get goopy or messed up. Okay? So what I do then is I actually like to leave it in the bottom because when I'm finished using it, I can just stand it up on my table and I don't got to worry about it spilling. So what you do is you hold your nail tip like this. You don't fill the glue holding it straight up. You don't fill the glue like this because how are you going to manipulate that onto your... You can't do it. You hold it like this. Okay? And then you put a little dab of glue. You do not need a whole ton of glue. Part of the reason that sometimes people have lifting of the artificial tips is because you put too much glue. If you put too much glue, it's causing an undue extra layer under there. You want it as flush to the nail as possible. So once you do that, you roll it away from you like this. You do not roll it up like this because it's going to pour down and spill onto you. You roll it like this, and then you scrape it across the tip of the nail, right, once. So you drag it down once past the nail, and you see the glue on the nail now. And what you do is you lay it in the well, and you roll it back onto the nail. And what this does is, first of all, it's going to push out any air that you have trapped under there. And it will push out any glue that you don't need. Okay, guys, Henrietta has finally cooperated and the nail is sticking. Hopefully it will stay on. The next thing that you want to do once your nail is attached and secure and dry, you never want to blow on these because then you're getting spit all over the nail and it's unsanitary. So don't blow on them, they'll dry. Just hold them there, count to 10 and let go. You should be okay. Usually it doesn't even take that long, but I usually count to 10 seconds on each nail. But I work from home, so, I can take more time on each client. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to take a 180 grit. The lower the number, the more fine the grit is on a buffer. This is one of my favorite buffers. It's an OPI 180, and it's really good for shaping and filing off ridges and stuff like that. This one is a 120. It's really, really rough. If you want to take down a lot of length all at once, this is the tool to use. The other side is actually a 180 as well, so it's good enough to shape the nail tip to the natural nail. This one here is actually a 220 to 320, and it's very, very fine. This is the 220 side, this is the 320 side, and it's smooth. It's actually almost smooth. But it's not shiny. This is not buff to shine. This is just buff to smooth. So, yeah, the lower the number, the more rough it's going to be. The higher the number, the more fine it's going to be. So, I would stick to around a 180 for buffing up around the edges. If you're going to use this one, you'd come from the corner up to the center like this, never touching the natural nail, okay? And when you do this, what you're going to do is you're going to buff this just to flush with the natural nail without abusing the natural nail. When you run your finger over it, you should not feel a ridge there. And this is great for the prom season, okay? This is great for the prom season because most of those girls don't normally wear any sort of nail forms or anything like that, like, acrylics. So they want a one-night deal, something that's going to look pretty, it's going to be secure, it's not going to pop off. They don't want press-on nails. This is a really good service that you can provide during the prom season that is going to make these girls, stand out, stick out, and be pretty with their nails and still be able to soak them off in the morning fairly quickly. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and shape this to her finger. I know I'm using the rougher side, but I picked a tip that was a little bit too big. So I'm just going to shape it better to my model. Okay. And for this purpose, I'm leaving Henrietta's nail pretty long because the next video is going to be a review of some products. So I definitely want to have fun with that. After that, you want to clean it and you want to feel it. If you still feel a ridge, you can go in with the buffer and just lightly buff across the nail until it's smooth. You're not buffing the natural nail. You are merely buffing the edge of the tip until it is flush with the natural nail. Once it's flush with the natural nail, you want to go ahead and use a finer grit, something that will make the nail smooth. All right. And then you're going to clean it, and you can paint it and design it with paint. You can add acrylic on top of it. You can do anything to this nail. It is now a good, secure extension of the natural nail. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you guys will try this at home and try it on your, prom girls or anyone who is just looking for a quick night out type of nail. Enjoy. I'll talk to you guys in a minute.